Hello guys and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be making another empire. So recently I made Brazilians and Swedish, and I told you guys to leave comments on what you wanted. One of those comments is a Polish one, so if I haven't done yours yet, I'm getting to it, but I have a lot of empires I have to make right now, and the one we're going to be making today is the Polish Empire. So let's go ahead and begin with just a few basic things I say in every video. That is, no alliances and new government. So places can still help out other places, but no NATO, no EU, no UN to condemn Poland, no other countries. With that, Poland begins their invasion of Slovakia, capturing a good portion of the country, but none of this matters as they begin to spearhead towards Bratislava, something like that. It sounds like Bratislava. After taking their capital, Slovakia surrenders, and Poland annexes the entire country. With that, the next person for them to take is going to be Czechia, or the Czech Republic, as Polish troops just begin to push in on all fronts, with a lot of the push being over here near the border that they used to share with Slovakia, as a lot of Polish troops are there. With that, they begin to spearhead towards Prague, capture the city, and after cutting the country into two, the Czech Republic surrenders. Now, with all this new strength, Poland, they've definitely grown in power, and they're also expanding their military a lot. So yeah, it's not just, give me a second. It's not just Poland growing their land area, it's also them growing their influence, growing their everything. Their economy is growing. Poland itself as a country is getting more powerful in every way, not just in land. With that, they declare war on their next country, which is going to go ahead and be Lithuania. And after pushing around and capturing Lithuania's capital, honestly, I don't think Lithuania would fight much longer, so Poland begins its final push towards Lithuania's coast, which goes successfully. And after all of their southern land and coastal land is taken, Lithuania surrenders. With that, it's still going to be called the Polish Empire, but Lithuania's in there too now, so Poland annexes the entire country. With that, Poland is now starting to be considered one of the big, strong countries in Europe. It used to only be Western ones. Well, no, it used to be the UK, France, Germany, Italy, and Spain as the big five, and then Russia is the big Eastern power. Poland's starting to rival that. But they don't have full control over it just yet. They're only getting there. With that, they declare war on Latvia, capture Riga, a good portion of the Latvian coast. And at this point, most of these smaller countries see absolutely 0 point in fighting Poland, with Poland easily beating them. With that, Latvia decides not to fight it any longer and to just surrender to superior Polish forces. With that, Poland actually decides not to invade Estonia just yet, as this scenario is unrealistic, and I should probably state that, but Estonia, even in an unrealistic scenario, I'm pretty sure Finland would join in on their side to help out their ally. So Poland refrains from that war for now. Who do they invade then? Well, let's see. What are their options? They could fight Russia, but they wouldn't win that. They could fight Belarus, but then Russia would join in. So, also I should just state once again, this scenario is unrealistic. This would never happen in real life. This is a completely different Poland. With that, they declare war on Ukraine. Once again, just wanting to gain as much land as they can as fast as they can. With that, Polish troops begin to push into eastern Ukraine, as a lot of Ukrainian troops are on the Russian border. Although in this scenario, we're just going to be assuming that Russia never invaded Ukraine for the sake of Poland making an empire. With that, Lviv, something like that. There's a city right there. I think it's called Lviv, but I can't be sure. So it's probably not, but that's just what I'm going to be calling it here because that's what I know how to pronounce. Polish troops begin to push more and more east to the east, and all of western Ukraine is captured. They begin a spearhead towards Kiev, whilst also pushing down to cut off a lot of southern Ukraine. They capture Odessa and begin to push towards Crimea, which once again in this scenario is going to be a part of Ukraine. In real life, I'd already consider it that, but in this scenario, it's just going to be fully Ukrainian land, not occupied by Russia. With that, Poland continues their push into Ukraine, with it going incredibly well for them, as Ukraine's capital is captured, and so is the majority of their coastline. With that, Ukraine surrenders, and this is going to be Poland's first actual peace treaty, in which they don't completely annex the country that they are invading. With that, they take about, I'd say this isn't going to be absolutely devastating to Ukraine, but it is going to hurt them. With that, Poland annexes, what is that, a third of the country? Maybe, a third of the country. So Poland definitely grew in strength there, but Ukraine is still going to survive. They lost a few decently important cities, but they're doing fine. With that, Poland annexes this land and is now seen as a decent power over here in Eastern Europe, who is ready to start pushing to some countries that in real life they can destroy. That country, if you didn't figure it out already, being Germany. In real life, this is normally the opposite way around, but for this scenario, Poland has already grown quite a bit, and if in real life you took together the powers of a third of Ukraine, all of Czechia, all of Slovakia, all of Lithuania, and all of Latvia, it could probably defeat Germany. With that, they instantly begin flooding troops over here near Berlin, as they want Berlin because they want to capture the capital as quickly as possible. The city is defended by German troops, but the Polish begin to encircle it, and it will fall eventually. With that, Poland begins to push along the coast, as it's a pretty economically powerful area for Germany. Although another very economically important area for Germany is down here near Bavaria, with Munich being captured and pretty much the entire region being encircled. With that, Poland pushes down and captures all of Bavaria. They also go ahead and encircle all of southern Germany by meeting up with the border of France, and begin to push up north to encircle a lot more of the German military. They basically just want Germany to surrender as quickly as possible here. Germany actually breaks one of these Polish encirclements to reconnect with their armies and push back around Berlin. With that, German troops push back slightly. Not too slightly, you can definitely tell what they did, but Poland is having a lot of success in the south as the entire region falls. With that, Germany here is doing fine considering what they're up against, but Poland is definitely winning. The German military is now fully mobilized, but that's not enough to stop the Polish advance fully, as we see them attempt to take Berlin again. The Poles lose the Battle of Berlin a second time, but still overall gain more land than they've lost. After giving up on capturing Berlin, they begin to push for a few other major cities, such as Frankfurt down here in central Germany, and Hamburg up here in the north. They're hoping that this will distract German troops enough to capture Berlin. With that, they make a few pretty big encirclements, cutting the country off into multiple pieces, which is gonna just divide the German military up even more. As I said, Frankfurt was captured, and Hamburg is soon to fall. All of Germany falls with the fall of Hamburg. The third Battle of Berlin happens, finally ending in a Polish victory, and Germany sees no point in continuing the war, so they surrender in hopes that Poland won't completely annex them. Which I don't really think they could do that. Germany's too large a country for that, but still. Would rather not have Poland destroy them. So hey, Poland finally got their revenge. And if you think it was just World War II, it was not. Back in Prussia, they helped destroy the Polish-Lithuanians. Back in, well, no, actually, the Polish were on the French side in the Napoleonic Wars, but technically so is the Confederation of the Rhine. That was like over there. But yeah, the point is, Poland has finally defeated Germany, and they're gonna take a good portion of the north of the country, including the city of Berlin. With that, Germany is actually allowed to stay an okayly powerful country. They're definitely not the strongest anymore, and not nearly as strong as they used to be. Their economy is also in ruins, but, I mean, they're alive. Their country wasn't completely annexed. That's about all Germany could have hoped for here. With that, a lot of Western Europe actually decides to help Germany, as Poland in real life is their ally, but this is an expansionist Poland. It's nobody's ally. With that, the German war is over, and Poland has expanded very greatly. Also, these borders aren't the exact same, but 2 is way too small, 3 is a bit too big, so have to go with 3. Nothing better I can do. With their defeat of Germany finally being over, they finally think they're strong enough to take on Estonia, as I said, Finland will be getting involved. But here, even with Finland getting involved, they won't last long. They were mostly doing this to threaten Poland not to attack Estonia, but with Polish troops quickly pushing in, capturing Tallinn, and the surrender of Estonia, Finland really sees no point in staying here. They wanted to defend their ally, but in the end here, they would lose once the Polish Navy finally got strong enough to land in Finland, which this isn't very far, so that's probably going to happen soon. With that, Finland just decides Estonia, yeah, they're friends, but it's not worth dying for, especially not when the country you're trying to protect has already been completely fallen to Poland. With that, Finland leaves the war. Estonia is annexed by Poland, and the Polish are preparing for for their largest war yet. With that, they group up pretty much they couldn't puppet Germany because the West would have declared war on them. They could have puppeted Ukraine. Actually, yes, they did puppet Ukraine. Don't know if I mentioned that, but yes, they did. With that, they actually decide to make an alliance with Finland, as they're going to need all the help they can get when they declare war on Belarus, which leads to Russia joining in. So yeah, the huge war of this video is here with Poland's declaration of war on Russia, the largest country in the world, and a pretty powerful one. So let's just color them all in. Like I said, huge country. But Poland will not be alone. As I already mentioned, Finland's joining in, but we also see Japan joining in against Russia. We actually don't see the USA and South Korea get involved, because if they did, that would most likely bring in China and North Korea, which would be overall bad for the red team. With that, though, Ukraine actually does decide to join in. So does Georgia. And Russia. I'd say it's pretty close. We actually also see Turkey join in. And no, Azerbaijan refrains from joining. Once again, unrealistic scenario. In real life, this would probably turn into this, which would turn into this, which would turn into this. But just for the sake of the scenario, we're not going to be having that happen. As Iran, with Turkey on the red team and Russia on the blue team, would most likely join in. Once again, this isn't supposed to be World War III. It's just a Polish invasion of Russia, so I'm not going to be having that happen. With that, though, Polish troops instantly take over Kaliningrad, as the Russian defense there was fierce, but nothing compared to the insane amount of Polish divisions that were sent there. They also flood into Belarus, which Russia decided not to defend. Well, they tried, but they had nowhere near the amount of power that was necessary to defend it. With that, we now see Polish troops begin to push into Russia. from Belarus. As I said, Russian troops instantly just started retreating out of the country, and that was very bad for their defenses that they were planning to set up along the border. We also see Poland pushing out along the Baltics and up here in Finland. With that, this is Finnish troops pushing into the Coral Peninsula and overall just into northern Russia. They meet up, encircling St. Petersburg, capturing the city. Meanwhile, over here, Japan has captured the island of Sakhalin and a lot of these other islands while making a landing in Siberia, although this region is not defended by Russia at all. So it's quite easy for Japan to take over. With this loss, though, I'm just going to start speeding this up, as we all know what's going to happen. And what is going to happen is going to be Polish and Ukrainian troops begin to push into Russia, circling the south, and doing what Germany couldn't do in World War II, which is taking over all of southern Russia with Turkish help. With that, this is now just months of progress. Eventually, winter does come and Russia pushes back, but it's all just going to be a back and forth, which will in the end lead to Polish victory. Once again, winter comes, Russia pushes back, summer comes, Poland pushes back, but overall Russia can't push back enough. Moscow's captured. Pretty much all of Russia's important parts over here in the west are captured, and over here in the east, pretty much any populated zones here are also captured, leading to the surrender of Russia. With that, we see that Poland and their allies have been successful, and the Russians are no more. Is that a bit far-fetched that that Poland could defeat Russia that easily? Yes, probably. Would it happen eventually? Would more people need to join? Probably as well. With that, Poland annexes a good portion of Russia, as they really just want to expand themselves. Actually, no, they don't take that. They take even more land out of western Russia. They also take the city of St. Petersburg, while Finland takes the rest of northern Russia, and Japan takes just a good amount of this. What is this? Don't actually know the name for that piece of land. I gotta search that up. And a small part of Siberia. With that, Poland also now has themselves their own allies, as they aren't relying on the USA's. Although Japan is still a US ally, Turkey fully flips to a Polish side, as now that Poland has defeated Russia, they are seen as a global power. Maybe not a superpower, but definitely a global power. With that, once again, Japan expands, and Poland is really just doing great for themselves here. Finland also gets a good amount of land, so good for them. So yeah, let's go ahead and finish drawing in these borders, and I can show you the final look of the new Polish Empire. Also, just go ahead, I kind of stated it in the beginning of the video, but the way I'm deciding what empires to do is you guys in the chat can just leave me any empire you want to see. I'll have it probably within a week, but if it isn't, then that just means either I didn't see it, and if I responded, then that means I have another one that I have to do first. So Ukraine here, if you want to know what they got independence, as the new government didn't want to join in on Poland's side. So how did Poland convince them to join? Well, they basically just said, hey, if you help us out here, we'll give you independence, you'll no longer be under our puppet government, and your country can do what it wants. Ukraine, of course, accepts this, as would you rather have a bit of land you can't control? Or would you rather have your own country that you can do whatever you want with? Georgia just takes a bit of land across the border, nothing too special. And here, actually, I don't think Poland's going to be dividing Russia up, although it isn't exactly a puppet regime, but a new government is put into place in Russia that is incredibly supportive of all Polish choices, of any Polish war that they make, anything like that. This Russian government will support it. on color. So yeah, let's just go ahead and, pretty sure I can just, and then here we can color in the new Polish Empire, which has land in quite a few powerful countries. So I hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.